So good afternoon. If it's Tuesday, 12:30 Eastern Time, it's time for Tuesday's Tips with Michael live here from the StreamYard studio on my desktop in my home office. Hoping everyone's having a good week. It's pretty cold out here on the East Coast. So for those of you on the East Coast, at least Northeast, pretty cold. Hopefully it's a little warmer where you are. So the last couple of weeks we've been talking about virtual training and hybrid training, right? So today we're going to talk about classroom training because though most of us who like delivering training over the last couple of years have had to do it virtually, and we always encourage folks to increase their skills, better their skills. And I mentioned in one of our sessions previously that I went out and got my certificate program from ATD on virtual facilitation. It was a great program. I got to upgrade my skills in delivering virtually. But we are going to get back to the classroom. And as a matter of fact, I have been in the classroom the last few months. We have some clients that are back in the office, some of them rotating, some of them back full time, some of them off-site. So we're doing some off-site retreat work, and they wanted the classroom experience. So we're starting to do some things in the classroom. So it's always good to revisit, refresh some of the classroom training tips and skills. But there are some things we're going to have to be aware of for those of us who are going to be in the classroom. Some things we're going to need to be sensitive to when it comes to back to classroom training. So as always, I'm going to go back to my notes. In this environment, and this is probably just, you've probably heard this, as a trainer, facilitator, whether you're internal or external, you have to be sensitive to people wearing masks in your class, people wanting to have hand sanitizers. We're actually giving out hand sanitizers in our classroom training, little bits of hand sanitizer to have our logo on it. Want to make sure people are spread out as best possible based on room size. I would probably have less folks at the tables. We usually like people in round tables, semicircle round tables. We probably would, instead of having 5 at a table, we might have 3 at a table. So you want to be sensitive to the needs and the situation, no matter where you are. So we want to make sure we have that in place first. But as always, there's some general tips of the road when it comes to classroom training I thought I would review. As always, our training programs, we recommend your training programs are all participant-centered learning. It's all about the participant. As I tell clients all the time, they're not going to listen to me for 3.5 hours talk about whatever topic we're teaching. It's more facilitated discussion and other things that happen in the classroom, and it's all about participant-centered learning. As always, we want to make sure the room is very well set up. We always ask our clients to get into the room 1 hour prior to the training. We make sure the technology works. We work wherever we're doing this, at the hotel or at the organization. We ask for somebody to meet us. So make sure all the technology works and everything's working great. Speakers are working, all the flip charts we need. Make sure your tables are all set up. If you have any icebreakers, make sure they're out. I have poster boards up in the room. And that normally doesn't take an hour, but I want to greet participants as they come in. I think it's important to set the stage a little bit. So you want to welcome your participants as they come in. Pre-COVID, depending how you feel about this, a little elbow, a little high five. Old days, we would do a handshake. Thank you for coming to the class. Sit anywhere you'd like. We have name tags on folks, so make sure they put their name tag on. More for me, because I don't really know everyone's first name, but there are people in the room that don't know each other, so it's a good time for them to network. So we want to make sure the stage is set for success. As always, a general rule of thumb, whether you're virtually or not, is you want to have an activity every 10 minutes or so. Either they're doing something, or they're watching something, or they're participating in something every 8 to 10 minutes. So your program should be built around that model, where you want to make sure people are engaged in the learning the entire time you're teaching. A couple things that I do that I really like. I like using case studies. I love using either video case studies or documented case studies. It really gets some of that engagement at the table level. We're using assessments. We like sharing results with each other, either at the table level or at the group level. And I'm very big on skill practice. We do a lot of skill practice in our training programs. We get folks in the groups of 3. Someone's the manager or leader, someone's a participant or employee, and someone's the observer. It's very good if you can get some skill practice into your training sections. Very, very important. And even now, supervisory skill development and leadership development are so important these days. And unfortunately, a lot of our clients don't do this until after they promote folks. And we really encourage them to do it before they promote folks. So you want to set a classroom experience that's enjoyable, that's fun. I mean, if we're going to get people to come back to the classroom, We have to probably make it more fun and more enjoyable now than we had in the past, because people are going to be a little anxious coming into the classroom. So when people come to our training programs, they learn a little, they network a little, they have a little bit of fun. They do action planning so they can apply what they've learned back to their everyday work life. And they leave hopefully satisfied that the classroom experience is still alive and well. People can come to the classroom and learn, even if it's in a small group, even if you're doing 10 or 12 at a time. I'm not sure if I'll see a class now 30 tight packed. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. It may happen soon. But I've done smaller groups, 6, 12, 18, spread out in the class. I think we're going to see that for a while. But I think people want to get back in the classroom and learn. Not that virtual is going to go away. And if you didn't see my 2 sessions on virtual and hybrid, I encourage you to go back on our YouTube channel and take a look at those, because that's going to stay. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. It's going to bring more people into the learning, development, into the framework of learning and development. So we want to keep that virtual thing going, but there are going to be people who want to go to the classroom. There are going to be people who want to go back to the classroom, and you have to be ready to deliver in the classroom. So those are my tips for today. Back to the classroom, back to classroom learning, make it fun, make it engaging, and you'll get more participants to come back. Next week, we're going to start on our EQ journey, our emotional intelligence journey. We're going to talk about emotional intelligence and how important EQ is to supervisors, leaders, and teammates. Focusing in on the emotional needs of situations is very important these days, and we're going to start down that path for you next week. So wherever you're seeing this, give us a like, give us a follow, shoot me a question. But this is Tuesday's Tips with Michael live right here. There are about 100 of these on our YouTube channel, so go check them out. Have a great week. Stay warm, and we'll see you next Tuesday.